Will this menu update fly or flop?
Princess the Bear, today we're in Disney's Boardwalk Inn Hotel because it's time to go back to the ocean.
We're going to the Flying Fish.
Yes, we're flying over to check out the brand new things on the menu because it's your number one choice in foodie infotainment. We're here to try all the food so you don't have to. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. I'm definitely going to fly after this meal.
It's time to foodie and chill. So we have a beautiful potato chive sourdough bread. I think every single resort restaurant should have their own bread. Of course, Signature Dining should. I'm only taking a piece. Now our server made the cutest little balsamic with oil action into a Mickey. It is so fine. Their balsamic is always really thick here, and it was explained to me the last time I made that comment why, and that escapes me. But cheers to you guys, because we love you. This bread is the stuff of dreams. The sourdough is just very fragrant. The potato is creamy and smooth. The chive is mild in its flavor. And then, of course, the dippings are fire. So it gives good bread. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 breads. I hope it calls me tomorrow.
Nice house bread. We always love when Signature Dining has like their own bread, like not like just an off-the-shelf Parker roll or anything else, or I don't want to say off-the-shelf, but like something unique to them. This is potato chive bread. One, smells amazing, and for me, I get a whipped butter with salt, sea salt, and chive, or just salt, not sea salt, to add on top of the potato chive bread, which looks and smells wonderful. I used the wrong silverware, but don't judge me. This is the kind of bread that tells you that your meal is going to be excellent. The care put into just a table bread, super nice crust with the chive throughout. Not like overpowering. It's a nice like, you know what? Now I'm actually hungry. The salted and chive butter is great. Your table will fight over this bread, but don't worry. You can ask for more. That's the best part. I would give it 4 out of 5 plus.
It never seems to be listed online, but on the paper menu, the Gazpacho here is vegan as is. Now, the last time that we came here, I got a standard classic tomato Gazpacho. Shortly after we came, they changed it to strawberry. I would have loved that. This time, it's melon. I misheard our server at first. I thought she said lemon, and I was like, ooh, it's going to be tart. And then she said melon the second time, and I was like, ooh, so excited for this. And this presentation has been super plussed up from the last time that we had. We have some edible flowers here, some tomato pieces. Of course, the melon is here as well. I'm just going to get a nice little, like, beautiful piece. Oh my gosh, this is so inspiring. Bear and I were just discussing how we should make gazpacho at home more. It's like a great little, like, healthy snack for the middle of the day when you're working. Wow. Just wow. Fresh, bright, beautiful, flavorful. Everything is balanced perfectly. The tomato is crunchy. The melon is subtle. Even like the pieces of melon are subtle. And then I got a little bit of like, there's like a little bit of croustantini in there too. Crunch just pluses is up. This is max. This is gorge. I love this. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a Princess's item. I would say Heirloom has a run for its money because I'm obsessed. I could drink this. I could get like 5 of these and just eat it all day.
Gazpacho is one of those things that we tried at Disney that sort of like opened our foodie world. So a lot of this comes from, it's like we've always liked food. So the Princess's Persian culture and then my African American culture, there's a lot of like cultural recipes within our family, respectively. And like we've even got our own like family recipe box at home that I think we need to start adding to. Like we make a lot of things that we probably need to have recipe cards for. But I'm curious to you guys. We have a very diverse community that we're extremely proud of. You guys are awesome. I want to know like your signature family like item. I don't even know the recipe unless you want to give it, but I am curious. Like, what is your family's like thing? Like, what do you make? Like for me, it's banana pudding. For the princess, it's a whole list of Persian items. I don't want to butcher on the channel today, but like I want to know what yours is. I definitely want to add a family gazpacho to our recipe box at some point once we develop it and figure out what we like. But melon gazpacho, this one interests me. There's also a little bit of like lemon powder in here as well, along with these edible flowers. You got these little like vegan croutons in here. Excited. I like the melon. And you get the melon with the tomato. You get this certain like complex sort of like spoonful. But the lemon adds a little bit of tart, not like enough where it feels lemon forward, but just enough to give the flavor like that little bit of bite. The croutons are like the perfect addition. Gazpacho is one of those things that seems so fancy, but it's so simple. If you have like a blender at home, you too can make gazpacho. It's super easy. And once you have the ingredients, it takes like 5-10 minutes. This is excellent. I don't know if I like it as much as the strawberry, because the strawberry was amazing, but this one is still really, really good. I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5 claws. So we got the Heirloom tomato salad. This is our vegetarian or appetizer starter. You have grilled tomato with the stone fruit. The current stone fruit, which is like basically like their way of saying seasonal fruit for the time, is grilled peaches. And then you have a cashew tuile, and then the fresh house-made burrata in here. So tomato, peach, cashew, burrata, all in a single bowl. So I'm going to take a little bit of that fresh-made burrata. I'm going to cut off a bit of these nice grilled peaches. They're nice and soft. Soft enough. Skin on the peach is still the skin on the peach. I'm going to take a little bit of this tomato. I'm just going to get a full bite of all the things. That grilled peach definitely locks in some of the smoky flavor and then goes well with the acidity of the tomato. The fresh made burrata is always the star. Everything else is like putting a fancy crown on the burrata, but the tomatoes with the peach is an excellent combination. It's bright, it's tasty. Burrata is an addiction. Like once you find like a good burrata, you're gonna want burrata every time you encounter it. This one is no different. Give that 4.25 out of 5 claws.
I get up early every morning, almost every morning, and look for menus that have changed so that Bear and I can review them. And every time that I get to flying fish, I, 1, do not want this dish to go away, and 2, want some sort of change so that I can come back and get this dish. Thankfully, that happened for me this time. But what do they do to my galette? I don't know. It's so much smaller than it used to be. 1, it is thick also, 2. And then they moved my crunchy mushrooms to my fixins. Now, it could potentially be because of me. This does come with asparagus on the menu, but I asked to switch the asparagus because I always get the asparagus and it feels weird to me when I eat it with this, so I got the roasted carrots instead. They also have green beans, but I'm not trying to annoy Bear, so I got carrots. I'm going to start with the galette by itself. I'm excited to try it because I literally dream about this galette, and it's mostly a rice in here, you can see. But there is some tofu action, and I love how crispy it is. Oop. The flavors are still amazing. I love every little piece of this. It's the right salty, the right savory, the right crispy. There's a limited time menu happening right now at CityWorks where they make like a similar like crusty rice situation. That is such a downgrade compared to this. This is so luxe. It's like if luxe was a food, it would be this. This is amazing. It is a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessities item, and I literally dream about this dish. But I do want to try the roasted carrots too. So I'm just going to get in on some of the mushroom. I love the mushroom piece as well. So I'm just going to try this also. I guess I'll grab a little bit of Galette in here too. Okay. All in bite. I actually think the carrot is much better, softer, brings a little bit more, I think, than the asparagus does. So if you've never had the dish before, certainly be my guest. Try it with the asparagus. But I think maybe stepping outside of that asparagus is a better move. So this whole dish for me is a 5 out of 5. It is a Princess's item, and I could eat 2. I really could, but I need more stomachs for that.
The princess's treasured galette. I think she might like this galette more than me on a given day because I just got warned not to eat too much. I'm going to let you guys judge if I took too much of the princess's food. Try to get the smallest bite to get the maximum flavor to review for you guys. With its galette, it's really everything. It's the taste, it's the texture, how it looks displayed on a plate. It's excellent. A nice smoky flavor in there. You get that rice crunch. They're still very soft on the inside. The seasonings over top make for like an excellent bite. Unlike anything plant-based I think we've ever gotten. We've always gotten really unique things here at Flying Fish. It's sort of like, especially one of the things that like kicked off like this signature dining portion of this channel. When the princess used to get a $40 block of tofu back in the day. This is one that she's repeatedly not stopped talking about, and there's a reason for that, because it is excellent. I would give that 5 out of 5 claws. It's still delicious. Now, for the carrots, Princess is right. I would have balked at green beans. I will never say no to a carrot, because, as I've always said, and will continue to say, I absolutely love rabbit food. Even though I do prefer carrots to asparagus, I think with this dish, the carrots actually pair better because the asparagus, while good, has a very like tart, earthy taste. And I don't think that's the perfect pairing for the balance of the galette. I think the carrots themselves are a much softer entry into the galette and pair very well with the whole thing. So you're getting a little bit of like savory, a little bit of like natural sweet. I think that works a lot better than like savory, earthy. In my opinion, anyway. Obviously, I can't rate it too much higher than a 5, but I'm leaving it the rating. It's still an excellent dish. Vegans, you will not leave disappointed. So, sort of brand new, more reimagined, this brand new roasted salmon that's on the menu. It's changed and now been updated to a roasted salmon with a olive tapenade on top. So there's 3 different types of olives in here. And then you have an arugula, tabbouleh, and then pepperdale. So you have like this pepper display all across it. A nice thick piece of salmon on top of the bed of that arugula tabbouleh. Apparently that is part of the new mission of the Arugula Illuminati, who is based beneath Contemporary Resort. You guys just don't quit. And the more I keep talking about the Arugula Illuminati, the more arugula pops up on my plate. Quit trying to make arugula a thing. Nobody likes an army of arugula. But maybe this will change my mind. Let's just dive into the salmon first. If I can get a piece unmolested. There we go. Plenty of the olive tapenade. I was curious of like how I would like the olive tapenade. Olive tapenade is a strong flavor on top of salmon. Salmon tends to lean towards, especially with most seasonings, to be salty. And then you add olive tapenade on top, which is already salty. But this is like blackened tapenade. These olives are like roasted, not burnt, but like heavily charred. And that muted flavor actually goes well with the salmon itself. It doesn't like overpower, but it's a nice texture difference on top of the salmon. I kind of like a mild salty punch and not like salt lick punch. I would give that a 4 out of 5 claws. Now, incorporating the pepperdale that's here on the bottom, and then the arugula tabbouleh, now you get like a better showing of like what it's like. So salmon, arugula tabbouleh, a little bit of pepperdale underneath. all of the flavors. Even though I have nothing nice to say about the arugula, that does in fact taste like tabbouleh on the bottom, but it's soaked up both the peppers and then the olives. So it's giving like that tabbouleh like lightness, but you're getting like the punch of both the pepper and the olives in there on top of a wonderful peaceful salmon that isn't too tart. Honestly, it's top tier salmon. It's giving like a nice Moroccan style salmon, and I'm completely on board for that. I would fly for that. I'll give that 4.25 out of 5 claws. So flying fish is one of the places where I am usually convinced to get an enhancement. Not always about a server, sometimes just for my own curiosity. One of the most amazing enhancements I've ever got at Walt Disney World was right here at Flying Fish when I got the grilled octopus, and it was bigger than my entree. It was like 20,000 leagues under the sea on a plate. So I'm always willing to try them. Now, this one comes on the side. You get these pieces of Ibérico ham, a little fat on the side, for you to enjoy either on its own, or I can add it to the salmon and get a little cut and just try the quality of it. Aha, I caught it. That is a wonderful, wonderful, like, cured ham. You get that nice, like, locked in flavor that sort of like hangs in your mouth. Excellent addition to any dish. I know you see like these white, like fatty parts on the backside. That's just the fat of the ham. That's not like a plastic or anything, but like you get like an extra like flavor from that, and the whole thing is just smoky and delicious. You can literally enjoy this on its own on the side, or you can add it to your main and enjoy. I don't regret this addition. I would give it 4.25 out of 5 claws. So if I'm going to talk a big game about adding my enhancement to my main, I suppose I had better put my ham where my fish is. Just add a little bit of the Ibérico on there. Just dive in until you have salmon, tabbouleh, a little bit of pepper, and then the ham on top. Double dip in the flavor. I like the ham with the fish. I don't know if I love it with the tabbouleh. I'm not changing my rating on the ham, but it's a nice little like touch. It's like pimping your food, a la pimping my ride, but with other food. No flashy lights or DJ booths sliding on the back of the fish. It's just additional food. The rating remains the same. So I got the not so secret Espresso Martini. It's actually just from the dessert menu. You can get it with or without Baileys if you like them creamier. I went and got it without. Sometimes I can have Baileys, but it kind of depends on how hard I push that lactose intolerance on a given day. Today, I just want the espresso it's meant to be. Straight to the gullet. Ooh. Wonderfully smooth, nice little bite. The foam turns well. Got a nice little like lemon rind in there. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it looks pretty. I like the splash of color and the little 3-bean soup hidden Mickey on top. I am awake now. I would give that 3.75 out of 5 claws. I feel like I need to further develop this like espresso martini palette, but I accept this mission.
I'm sad to say that my favorite strawberry shortcake, and I want to say maybe the last strawberry shortcake that was around for a signature dining, is now officially gone. And we have had them all replaced. Every single signature dining restaurant has replaced their dessert now that this one is here. This is a pineapple upside down cake, and it has a coconut foam, which almost looks like a burrata to me. And then we have this pineapple piece here, some crumbs, and pineapple. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know that my two least favorite fruits are pineapple and coconut. But for some reason, they love to feed that to the vegans. So I suffer the pineapple and coconut so that I can tell you guys what it tastes like. beautiful. Sometimes, I will say, there have been times where these items are tasty and I enjoy them. So it's not like I order it because I know I'm going to hate it. Sometimes it does surprise me. And this looks surprising. Oh, look at that. There's actually a sorbet underneath that I forgot, but I somehow grabbed. I thought it was like an innard, but it's not. This is one of those moments where I'm glad that I go on these adventures with an island bear who likes island foods and island things and will eat the island things. Because the pineapple's actually pretty decent. Cake is good. The little crunchies are delicious. The way they treat the pineapple is really good. Sorbet is great. What kills me is the coconut foam. It is very coconut. And if this was me, like little 12-year-old me, I would have spit it out. Like I couldn't even masticate coconut when I was young. So I've made steps as I've gotten older, but I'm not fully there yet. I think if you love tropical flavors, especially pineapple and coconut, you're gonna adore this dessert. For me, it's like a 3 out of 5 tropics. It's not taking me to the Polynesian. And somehow I'd rather have the banana pudding from Ohana.
Enter to the bear to come save the princess from her horrid tropical upside down cake. This has all the makings of things that I would rock with because they rock with me. You have this nice pineapple upside down cake with this roasted brown sugared pineapple, and on the backside here you do have the coconut foam here, and beneath that is a roasted banana ice cream. So banana, pineapple, and cake, brown sugar, a little bit of coconut foam. Get a little of that first. Then we're gonna dive in here for the cake. Take a lot of the pineapple with me. I think I hear angels singing. Or maybe it's just the cake taking over my brain. But I rock with that. The brown sugar on the pineapple is super subtle. The roasted banana ice cream is fantastic. The coconut foam is like the one thing that I'm like, it's okay. It doesn't really add enough for me. Coconut, not top of my flavor profiles. Once you add the coconut foam with the cake, the pineapple, and the ice cream, it's actually fairly decent. You're definitely getting a feel of the tropics. Now, I did check it for mango, so it's safe for me. I kind of wish that desserts were flipped in this case, and that the chocolate one that I had was the vegan one, and that this was the non-vegan one with just dairy-free banana ice cream, because this is delicious. And I definitely can't eat both. So I guess the princess will suffer. But trust, she's suffering in joy and tasty flavor. But I understand hating things, because there are things that will be on this plate that I could hate. For instance, this was like an all-cherry dessert. I would balk. I would be in absolute misery. The princess would be jumping for joy. So it's like different flavors, different folks. But we can appreciate the artistic display and creation of said dessert. I think it's hitting on all cylinders. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 claws. Brand new desserts, because I know that's why most of you come here. You don't care about the entrees. Some of you care about the starters. You want the sweet treats, because our community is sweet. You deserve many, many treats. So with this chocolate caviar custard, you have this custard here on the top, or this ice cream made from cashews. So it's a cashew cream ice cream. And you have these cocoa nib caviar on top. So you have like these little balls of cocoa nibs made to look like caviar with a little bit of gold flake. And then also right here is another cocoa nib tuile on top of the custard. And then on the bottom here, you have a roasted peanut praline going on. So, you know, chocolate, peanut butter, or peanuts, rather. Just gonna go right in and destroy this thing of beauty with care. I'm not gonna completely maul it. I'm a bear, but I am somewhat civilized. Look at that. There we go. That is delicious. It's tasty. It's almost like an elevated Snickers bar because you have like this chocolate cream. You get like the nougat. You got the peanuts in there. Like it feels just like an elevated, cold, hot version of a Snickers bar in like the best way. Like that childhood memory of like going down to the corner store with like the 75 cents that your aunt gave you and you can afford like a candy bar. That sort of vibe. I think things here like always do that. This is a 4.5 out of 5 claws, but like it really takes me back to like the dessert we had here 2 visits ago. It was like a lemonade. That brought me back to my childhood memories of like a lemonade stand. That lemonade is back on the menu from the last time we've been, so it's back from like a year ago. And I don't want that lemonade to feel that I am disloyal. I wanted to spend more time with it, but I needed to spend more time with a new dessert. I still love you, lemonade. I still love you. Now, that was definitely a lot of flying with the fishes, and I feel significantly sea-fed.
This is definitely a fly and not a flop. I'm sad that my galette is smaller, but I do think the carrots are a much better way to go. The gazpacho is always fire. I'm glad it's marked vegan on the menu. And my dessert, well, I'm gonna miss my old dessert quite a bit.
I'm glad the desserts came back here for mine because the chocolate caviar was delicious, and I'm glad the lemonade came back. We even had somebody come to the table and said that I should have tried that again. Which is, fine. I did love that lemonade, and I will miss it, and probably next time if we have to come back, woe is us.
I tried.
I will probably try. Yeah, the princess did try to get me to get 2 desserts. I just stomach wasn't having it. But I love the updates to the menu. I think they're making great use of like the seasonal items, taking things like the heirloom tomato salad and the gazpacho and updating them with seasonal fresh veggies. Keeps the menu fresh without having to do a major menu update, which allows people to have more unique experiences when they come here.
Oh, also, the pork belly is seasonal, so they do change that. Right now, it is a, southern style pork belly with collard greens and cornbread, crumble or something like that. So, if you're into that, I'm sure Bear would have been if we didn't have a new burrata for him to try.
Yes. The flying fish still happens to be the top tier of signature dining restaurants, I think, of all of the Boardwalk loop from here all the way around to Beach Club and Yacht Club. This is still the toppest tier of the restaurants. Even if you include Swolfen, I think that Flying Fish is definitely the peak restaurant of this area, and it shows.
And I know they've been getting a lot of mixed reviews lately. A lot of people have not had a really great experience, but we seem to have a pretty great experience every single time that we go. Outside of the fact that my galette was really small and maybe they cut it wrong, it did look like some of them in the kitchen were a little lost, but that's all part of the game, so
I'm glad that the quality, at least when we go, is holding up. Obviously, your experience may vary, and those are completely valid experiences.
Sure.
But the consistency is always going to be the biggest issue for signature dining restaurants, especially at Walt Disney World, where they serve so many people.
Yes.
The consistency has to be on point. If it's not, you're probably going to hear about it online somewhere.
100%.
That's just no par for the course. We have those experiences at restaurants here ourselves.
Yes.
But we're glad that Flying Fish is still the toppest of the toppest tier.
Yes.
But if you've had experiences, both good or bad, at Flying Fish, I want to hear from you in the comments below. I want to know what exactly the consistency problem was here, other than the ones that we've read here and there in the darkest corners of the internet. As always, if there's anything else you can see us do, the comments is always going to be a place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, Bear will just dive.
The Nemo submarine at Disneyland is still the best ride in the entire park. But you heard the girl.